Hey, beautiful thrivers. Today, I want to talk to you about breaking up with a narcissist. Specifically, the breakup itself, the fallout from the breakup, and the most important piece, which is your recovery, what you can actually do to get your life and your soul and your sanity back after the breakup. So hang out with me to the end of this video so that you can get some solutions in this dire time. Breaking up with a narcissist is nothing like breaking up with a normal, whatever normal is, person, because of course breakups are painful and people are heartbroken and hurt, and you might be angry that that person didn't step up and they didn't try harder, or it's really sad because you've fallen out of love, or whatever it is. It's very, very painful. But yet the fundamental truth of most people is that they have a spark of humanity within them. They're good people. And at the end of the day, they want to do the right thing for everybody concerned and for the kids, and, make sure you get a fair deal with the furniture or the settlement or whatever it is. Yet with a narcissist, it is nothing like that. And you're going to be shocked, because this is where you're going to see the worst of this person. As far as a narcissist is concerned, when you break up with them, you are the enemy. You're the wrong one. And it doesn't matter the disastrous and disgusting things that a narcissist might have done in the relationship, like lie and betray and cheat and steal and commit adultery and be abusive. As far as the narcissist is concerned, everything is your fault. And this is a defense mechanism for their ego to be able to avoid any accountability and be above reproach, so that they don't have to do anything to change. As far as they're concerned, you're the one that was wrong. You're the person that ruined the relationship or the marriage, and therefore you deserve to be punished. You deserve to be cut and discarded. Now, there may be some cycles in your split up where, especially if you have decided that the relationship is over, the narcissist may gravitate between that horrible, malicious, cruel discard. In other words, well, it was my idea to end it, it wasn't yours, and I never loved you anyway, and all the horrible things that they can do to try to hook you back in, to make you feel the pain and the injustice and come back with attention and energy towards them. Or maybe the narcissist may hoover you and say they're sorry, and even profess that they're going to get help and therapy and that they're going to change. But what you'll find in these cycles, when you've got to the point of a breakup with a narcissist, is if you do get back together with them, that it won't be long before the penny will drop again, the disaster will blow up, and you'll be even worse abuse and cycles of abuse than what you were previously. And the narcissists can't help themselves. They want to punish you, at least subconsciously, for you trying to get away from them and render them unimportant in your life. They cannot stand that. So it can be hard to get to the final breakup. But, we're going to talk about this at the end of the video, how you can do it in a much more straight and direct and empowered line, which is very important. And I know a lot of you will be struggling with this, that you're broken up, you get back together. There's even people who have remarried narcissists even more than once. So that can be common as well. Okay, so in the breakup, when you are the enemy, the narcissist will be incredibly entitled. As far as they're concerned, they deserve the goodies. This is this is what they deserve after the horrible stuff that you've put them through, which quite literally, in the disordered way of comprehending life, they actually really do convince themselves that it is your fault, you're wrong, and you are a shocking, horrible, evil person who's probably been plotting this for a long time, and you're out to destroy and ruin their life. They really do believe that. So the narcissist will decide that they should get the goodies, they should get a big chunk of everything, if not all of it, And also too, they should have the say over everything that goes. So they're not going to play team with you. They're not going to play fair. They are not going to do the right thing. You need to understand that. Okay, so in the fallout with a breakup with a narcissist, you will be smeared. A narcissist will try to get minions against you, and it's for a couple of reasons. It's so that they can confirm to themselves and get the feedback that, yes, you are a terrible person and they were right, you were wrong, and they're going to get lots of narcissistic supply by telling people their constructed version of things, which some of it will literally be made up lies that they've convinced themselves of. And what's very, very painful is you will find that it could even be your family, friends, your community, your colleagues. They may go and tell your boss stuff or just do the most underhanded things to try to get people turned against you and to punish you and to get the vindication that they're right. That's really adds insult to injury when that's happening to you. So be very aware of that. Now also too, they can act quite criminally, switching things into their name, taking money out of accounts, doing all sorts of acts and falsifications, and maybe even abusing you by proxy by setting authorities against you, that if they have any information or things that they can do to hurt you, they will use it, or they may construct and fabricate stuff to hurt you. So be prepared for that, because it will shock you and it will stun you. And they may stalk and they may create havoc. They may threaten you. They may love bomb you. You may get cryptic messages out of nowhere which don't make sense and will get your head ticking. So as far as the narcissist is concerned, if they can keep you hooked up into them emotionally, whether it's literal or not, it doesn't have to be physical. Narcissists are energetic vampires. It sounds creepy and woohoo and crazy, but it's true. If they can keep you obsessing and ticking and thinking and what are they going to do next and what are they going to do to me, the narcissist has got you in their energetic grasp. And this is where they want you, because the narcissist's mission is to literally destroy you, get the goods, leave you like a basket case, ruined and destroyed, so that they were right and you were wrong. You were the defective, damaged, sick one that ruined the relationship. Okay, I've just come inside because it was getting a little windy out there, and I want to talk to you about the solution deeper so that you can really understand it. And probably the best way that I can do that is to give you an example. And it was a lovely lady that I was working with, because her story is just so pivotal. And how it was she was still with a narcissist, and she'd separated into a bedroom, and she was getting her stuff all organized so that she could leave in the most empowered way. She was putting some money away on the side. She was organizing a place to go to. She was keeping her cards very close to her chest and not letting people know that might tell the narcissist, and just planning, how she was going to leave. And she was in a separate bedroom, and she told him that for now we're separating. And what he did was, first of all, he got, really accusatory and really, telling her that she didn't love him and she didn't care about him and all of this kind of stuff. And it was very triggering for her because of the injustice, because that was actually how he'd been treating her. So with NARP, which is Quantum Freedom Healing, rather than getting hooked in all the ways that he had always hooked her in, she started doing the inner work on what was being triggered within her with the program. And what she discovered was that she'd been scapegoated as a child by her mother, and it was always her fault. And these were old wounds that he'd been playing on for a very long time. So she was able to clear those out until what he said was just meaningless. It was like water off a duck's back. It just didn't trigger her anymore. And then what he did was what narcissists do, is he changed tack. And then he started love bombing her. And he said he's sorry, and she felt sorry for him because there was crocodile tears, and he said he'd change. And as we said to her, go and clear out these hooks. You know he's done this before. You know where it ends up. So she went inside and she healed those parts of her that were like a mother to him and feeling sorry for him, and, you know, the compassion that she had for him, and she let it go in the healings. And again, she healed up into her solid truth of being compassionate and true to herself. She didn't fall for it. And then he changed tact again. He started dating right in front of her. He was on a dating app in the house in front of her. And she was, of course, triggered, that terror that we can have of being replaced. And he'd go out on dates and he wouldn't come home all night. And it was horrific for her. And of course, he was trying to hook her back in. So again, she went to the healings in NARP and she picked up those traumas and released them and brought in source, and which is what the healings do. And it didn't trigger her at all. She was just in her power and her truth without the trauma from that. When that didn't work, he changed tact again. And he got really blustery and nasty and started threatening her. And it terrified her. He even pushed her. He was horrible to her. She'd never seen that side of him specifically. And again, she went into her bedroom and did the healings and let go of what was triggered. And she came into this solid power and she confronted him in her power. And she said, you lay one hand on me, I will have you arrested so fast your head will spin. And she meant it. She was ferocious. So anyway, he backed off. He felt it. He knew she meant it. And he ended up moving out. So it went like this. He tried everything to trigger her and rope her back in. She stood in her power. She kept healing up, and he left. Because the worst thing for a narcissist is to be in the presence of somebody still trying to get narcissistic supply from somebody who just keeps empowering themselves. She ended up getting a great settlement and a custody ruling. He capitulated because he couldn't be in her energy without getting the ego feed of, I can trigger you and affect you so much, which makes me significant, which is what narcissistic supply is all about. So, you know, I was so happy for her story. And I've seen it happen so many times when people really work with the inner work. So I know a lot of you are facing, and maybe this is you, that you're facing having to leave a narcissist. And it's terrifying. You know it's not going to be good. Or maybe you've tried and you've kept coming back together because it is so hard and horrifying, and the aftershock and everything you're going through is just unthinkable. Maybe you've got property, businesses, kids, all sorts of enmeshments that are just terrifying. Maybe you don't think you're going to be able to make it on your own after the separation. That's really common too. So what I'd love to do is invite you to come into my free webinar, which a lot of this is explained, and I can take you through an actual healing with Quantum Freedom Healing to be able to let go of some of these hooks and fears so that you can stand and walk forward into your sanity and your strength and true solution. So I hope that this has helped explain that this phenomena is not like a normal breakup, but thank goodness there are solutions and ways, and that's exactly what my community is all about, supporting you through every part of your recovery, including leaving a narcissist. So check out the resources that I'm going to put with this video, and lots of love to everybody going through this. And I really want to say to you, there is more than hope that you will get through this and get forward into your true self and your true life. Lots of love. Bye-bye.